I gotta clear my throat, man. Just took a But yeah, I just took a nice shower and everything. Yeah. It's also really nice outside. It's probably one of the last days where it's gonna be nice, which makes me sad. But yeah, it is October. But anyways, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for another epic Beyblade video. So it's a top 10 video. So in this one, I'm actually going to talk about the next season of Beyblade. Where just naming off the 10 strongest characters. So I did this for Metal Fusion, I did this for Metal Masters. You can go and check those videos out. But now it's time to talk about Metal Fury. I'm starting with the Metal Saga because it's obviously the saga in which my channel started. I started my channel around like the end of Metal Fusion. I watched all of Metal Fusion, but I started my channel towards the end of that, and then started around end of Metal Fusion going into Metal Masters. So yeah, anyways, it's time to talk about Metal Fury, or 4D. So this is the season that a few people are kind of iffy about. I know about that, a lot of people were iffy. This was the season where a lot of people honestly started quitting Metal Fight Beyblade and such, but I honestly was a big fan of it. I loved the story for it and everything, and it was crazy, dude. It's one of the things that inspired obviously the skit series. So yeah, anyways, so it's time to talk about the top 10 bladers in this season. So I guess I'll just start going down the list. I'll start from the top to the bottom. That's the best way for me to do it. I organize it better that way. And my phone stopped, but it's all good. All right, so here we go. So I know people are already getting mad at me for this, but number one, who is the number one blader? Who's the strongest blader at the end of Metal Fury? Okay, I'm gonna say this. Honestly, I say this with no bias or anything. The number one blader is Ginga, and I'm gonna explain why it is Ginga. I know a lot of people are gonna be triggered and be like, "Oh man, Ryuga was so strong and such," and even Rago and stuff. Why are you putting Ginga at the beginning? It's because of this. Because it might have been because of plot armor, but literally, it's the same sort of reasoning why he was number one in the first season. Because Pegasus was able to contain the power of everybody on the planet, honestly even more than Nemesis was. Nemesis stole the power from the legendary bladers and such, from all of them, and used it to make its own power grow and such, and it had its own power that was the same as all the legendary bladers base combined, as well as all the bladers that they faced. But the thing is Pegasus had one trump card on it, and even Nemesis had the power of its anger and such for being locked away for thousands and thousands of years. But the thing is Pegasus had the power of everybody on the planet, because everybody on the planet aimed their bays at it when, it was fighting against Nemesis in the final battle. All the other legendary bladers' bays were broken. Pegasus, was the only chance. Either, he was going to win, and the world was going to get saved, or not, or it's going to be destroyed. One of the two. And Pegasus was able to contain the power of all those bladers across the entire planet, as well as its own power, and plus the power of the blader spirit, a power that Nemesis didn't have. And honestly came down to that little thing that made it where it was able to beat it. Everybody gave their power. Even Ryuga gave his power over, to Kenta. But then Kenta gave it to Ginga, as well as Ryuga's power and such. So he had everybody's power. Everybody on the entire planet, they didn't face everybody on the planet. That's the thing. Not all these legendary bladers faced everyone on the planet. There were too many people for that to happen, They faced a lot, but not everyone. But, Ginga got the power of literally every single blader on the entire planet Earth, And because of that, that's why he was number one. Because he managed to defeat Nemesis with all that power, and Pegasus was able to hold that power in. It was able to possess all of that power. Any other blade would have probably been broken, even El Drago. Ryuga would have probably been taken over, in all honesty. He was my favorite character in Metal Fury, you guys. I'm just saying that right now. I loved Ryuga in Metal Fury. I loved Ryuga, throughout the entire series, and he was my favorite during Metal Fury. But, that's why Ginga and Pegasus are number one. Number two, obviously, is Rago, because Nemesis and such, It was so strong. Pegasus barely beat it. All the other legendary bladers got thrown back from it. Nobody could beat it one-on-one, besides, Ginga and Pegasus with everybody's power. Even Ryuga tried to stand up to Rago, Nemesis, and El Drago got destroyed, and Ryuga got taken down. Also, for a side thing, anybody who says Ryuga died after this, he didn't die. He wasn't dead. He vanished. So, how Storm Pegasus vanished after the battle with Lightning El Drago at the very end of, the first season, and it vanished, and then, Galaxy Pegasus, because Storm Pegasus was made based on Galaxy Pegasus's design. So, yeah, that's how, there's another Pegasus. But, yeah, the thing is Ryuga and El Drago just vanished, you know. They never bladed again, you know. They never battled again, but he didn't die. They just vanished, you know. It's like they vanished to a different part of the world, couldn't battle anymore and such. And he actually passed his Bay down to Sakyo. That's a fact. Sakyo even said, don't think that you're the only person who got a Bay from a legendary blader, you know. So he hinted right there. He got it from Ryuga. So Ryuga, like, wasn't, like, he didn't die. Ryuga was still alive after this battle. He didn't battle ever again, but he was not completely gone. Just wanted to explain that to anybody who doesn't know. So I could debunk the whole entire argument that's been going on for, like, about a decade. I think about a decade. No, not a decade, but, like, at least half a decade. That's been going on for so long, dude. But, yeah, there's that. But anyways, you know, Rago managed to, like, take down everybody and was really close to destroying the world. Barely Pegasus went over and saved the world. But it's granted, it's a given. Like, he's number 2. The number 3 blader, hands down, Ryuga. No doubt about it. He managed to shut down, like, any legendary blader that faced him, you know. Anyone, you know. Like, he even managed to shut down King and Variesh. You know, King put up a great fight against him because, you know, they both had the power of the Star Fragment and such. But Ryuga's power as a blader was just through the roof. This guy, like, he was a Dragon Emperor, literally. He trained every single possible moment that he could throughout his entire life. You know, that being, like, taking the harshest of paths, going through the harshest of conditions, through snowstorms, through rainstorms, through, like, wind, like, crazy sandstorms and such. You know, he used everything. You know, it's sort of what I based, like, on kind of model my life behind a little bit. That's how I'm so strong, you know. But yeah, I go out in the craziest of conditions, you know. You could even see that with, like, my skit series and such. You can go back and look at them. Like, it's a legit thing, you know. That's why I model my life behind, like, a lot of the time, you know, just to get stronger and stuff. Using anything I possibly can in my life to get stronger, you know. And literally, he battled Nemesis one-on-one and put up a great fight, but obviously, like, got taken down and, you know, beat and such. But nobody else could beat him. Rago was... And this phone keeps stopping. But Ginga, at the very, very end, you know, when he faced Nemesis, that's about it, you know. Those are the only two that could beat him. Besides that, nobody even has a chance, dude. Like, King put up a great fight, but, like, got taken down. And all the other legendary bladers, it was a given that, like, if they faced him head on, their power would have been absorbed and he would have stole the power of their Star Fragment, you know. It almost happened to Chris's Orion, and, you know, probably would happen to anyone else's base, you know. But, yeah, so hands down, he is number 3. Okay, as for number 4, this is going to be an interesting one. I know people are going to be like, who do you pick for number 4? I think the first 3 were, like, sort of a given. But who's number 4? If I had to pick number 4, I, in my honest heart, would pick Kyoya, you know. Because it's like, Kyoya put up a really, really great fight. He never got to face off against Ryuga again, you know, like, after, you know. Because they faced off once on the mountain, on the summit. Yeah, on that one island, but I know, but, like, they faced off, you know. It was when they found out Ryuga was a legendary blader. They found Ryuga and such, but Kyoya put up a great fight against Ryuga, but obviously lost that. And I felt like if they would have faced off again, no matter what, just the left rotation factor and the absorbing factor, Ryuga would have beat Kyoya, you know. Ryuga was always a little bit stronger than Kyoya. Like, always. Just, like, by a little bit, you know. But, hands down, Kyoya at the very end, he managed to beat everybody, you know. Like, it was implied. After the Nemesis Crisis, he went and faced everybody. And he managed to beat them. And he said, Ginga, you're the only one left, you know. So that implies that he managed to beat everybody. And people might have overlooked that fact, but you can literally go back and look at the very end of the last episode of the Metal Fight Saga before Shogun Steel. But, like, it's a fact. Kyoya beat everybody after the legendary blader roles were concluded. Like, everyone, you know. He never got to face Ryuga again, and I feel like Ryuga would have probably been the one to beat him, besides Ginga, obviously. But he beat everybody else, you know. So, hands down, I'm giving him the number 4 spot. All right, now for the number 5 spot. If I had to pick a number 5, that would be tricky. Honestly, number 5, I would go with, I'd go with Kenta. So, like, yeah, obviously, like, when El Drago got taken down, Kenta got the power because Ryuga gave his Star Fragment to Sagittario. Well, he gave it to Kenta, and Sagittario got it. It became Flash Sagittario. He managed to take down, like, Fusion Hades or Fire Fuse Dark Helm in that battle. The Bay that was modeled after King Hades himself that didn't even have this power of the Star Fragment, you know. It was strong, but it didn't have the power of the Star Fragment. That's the thing. Like, or maybe it had, like, a little bit, or I don't know. I don't think it did, but, like, it was a strong Bay. But, like, you know, Kenta managed to beat it, and also, like, he had the power of, like, Ryuga's El Drago in Sagittario as well. So it was, like, sort of 2 bladers fighting at once, you know. And, yeah, you know, Kyoya may have been able to beat him because of the implied thing at the very end, but, like, I couldn't see anybody else beating him. Like, honestly, the person who I'll name is like number 6 may have been able to, like, may have gotten close, but like didn't beat him, you know. There's no way. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm giving it to Kenta. And plus, Kenta, in my opinion, he's the blader that earned my respect the most out of anybody in the 3rd season. You know, I always respected Kenta. I always thought he was a great blader, and I always wanted to see him get like big time success. And I really wish that he was a legendary blader. Also, Masamune, honestly, but like Masamune didn't become a legendary blader, but Kenta did, and Kenta busted his butt to get that, dude. He fought El Drago, put his life on the line. Imagine this kid just following the Dragon Emperor around and then just like freaking, you know, like earns his respect, becomes like physically almost as strong as him. His may not be the strongest, but like physically really, really strong, like up there with Ryuga, and made Ryuga even get serious for a little bit, you know. Like, Kento went through hell, and he definitely deserves this spot, like, you know, as the number 5 strongest. Because like anybody else, they put up a good fight, but I don't think they beat him. All right, so number 6. If I had to pick number 6, this is hard. If I had to pick a number 6, I would personally go with I'd go with King. And you know, that's because like I could see like King putting up a really good fight against Kenta with Flash Sagittario, but like I can imagine Kenta flying down, swooping down, and just like beating him with a diving arrow. Because an attack from above, it doesn't matter if you're left rotation or not, you know. Like, that's a move that even like El Drago would have like had big time difficulty against, you know. If like it's a dream match that obviously like never could have happened, but if it did, it would have been like a great battle and such. But you know, but besides that, like besides and all those like bladers above beating King, you know, like King was a really strong blader, you know. If the battle with Chris would have gone on, like the one at Baster Island at the very end, you know, after they found out that Chris was a legendary blader, I could have totally seen it where like King would have won it, because the left rotation factor, the King of Thunder Sword, it would have sent like Orion flying out, and plus switching all the different modes, King would have beaten Chris, in my opinion. But yeah, even a Bay that like won't stop spinning no matter what, he could have flung it up in the air, used the King of Thunder Sword right then, and sent it out and beat it, you know. I mean, yeah, you know, Ginga's Pegasus managed to do so, but the left rotation, very Eris with a ton of attack, but the attack mode, like, could have won it, you know. But yeah, and continued to, like, absorb the power, you know, because left rotation. But, yeah, dude, I'd say King is number 6, because he put up a great fight even against Ryuga. For the longest time, he actually had Ryuga back to a corner for a little bit. You know, I know people will be like, oh, he didn't have him backed up. He actually did, though, guys. Like, Ryuga was shook at how strong he was. He wasn't expecting him to come at him with that big of a fight, and he did. He put up a really great fight. Obviously, El Drago won because Ryuga's a freaking boss, but yeah, still, you know. So I definitely give number 6 to King. All right, number 7. That's one I gotta really think about. And obviously, I think it's a given that like the top 10 are they're gonna be legendary bladers and such, because like they're legendary bladers. Yeah. Now this one's honestly a little difficult to think about. If I had to pick a number 7, I would have to go with Chris. I would have to pick Chris for number 7, because like Phantom Orion BD was an amazing day, you know, that literally can fight in any conditions, and like it doesn't matter. Like, you can fight on leaves, fight in the snow, fight in the sand, fight in the rain, anything, and it wouldn't stop spinning, you know? Like, it was an amazing bay that couldn't be taken down. They obviously beat Masamune and such, but yeah, but like, Masamune put up a great fight against him, but like, Chris still managed to win it, and, you know, won the Baster Island Challenge, and like, the only person that beat him, actually there are 2, you know, Kyoya, because of the implied thing, Ginga, you know, managed to beat him as well because of the battle in a temple in Mexico. But yeah, but he still put up a really, really great fight. I think it's a given that like Kenta would beat like Chris, you know, because he has like the power of Ryuga's El Drago in him as well, you know, and plus that attack mode. It could have even like beat Phantom Orion when it came to stamina, because Sagittario was really, really strong. But yeah, Chris put up a really great fight and was a really, really strong blader, you know. So I definitely give it number 7, because I can't see any other remaining legendary bladers beating him. Even like a Guma Scythe Chronos would have lost with stamina against Chris's Orion. All right, number 8. Who would I pick as number 8? So number 8, I'm picking Titi. Yeah, I know people are gonna laugh at that name. It's actually his name though. You know, I wish they would have spelled it like T-E-T-H-I or Tati or something like that, because it's just a little close to something else. Like, I don't know, but yeah. But honestly, he's a character. I freaking love Titi. He's amazing. Like, I love his like free spirit vibes, you know, how he has fun with every single battle that he's in, you know, and he's just hilarious, dude. He may be like a kid, but he was really, really hilarious as a character, dude. And Death Quetzalcoatl was a really, really balanced out Bay. Like, it was really, really strong, dude. Orion, I think, would have beat it because of, like, you know, the bearing drive and just the stamina. But, like, when it comes to raw attack, defense, and such, like, who's gonna beat Quetzalcoatl? Even in real life, Quetzalcoatl is just so, so strong, you know. But yeah, and he even managed to beat like Aguma. He beat his Chronos and such. He beat Libra, and you know, really, really strong blader, dude. And he knows what he's doing. He might be like a kid, but he has really, really big time Beyblade intellect. You know, he knows his base so, so well. And Quetzalcoatl is so, so strong, dude. Like, it's a boss. So yeah, I'd give him number 8. Okay, so now we're getting into number 9. All right, this is kind of hard. There's like 3 legendary bladers left, and there's 2 spots left. So, if I had to pick number 9, all right, this one's a really hard one to decide because just the battles that happened. All right, so number 9, I'd have to give it to Aguma. You know, Aguma, you know, he's the owner of Scythe Chronos, and he obviously like helped out like Pluto and such, because he thought it would help the Balin fists with their goals, which obviously that backfired on them big time, and he realized he was getting used that entire time. But yeah, but the fact is that like his special move, Great Ring of Destruction, is so strong, dude. It really is. Even in like Toriumon, I know Ginga didn't have the full control of Pegasus even then, you know, and just thought of its special move, but like he managed to beat like Yuki and Ginga, you know, even though Ginga like obviously was still learning about Pegasus and such still at that point, you know. But yeah, but like the fact is that this Chronos is a really, really strong Bay, you know. He did lose to Titi, he did lose to King, but like the only ones left like are like Dynamis, Aguma, and Yuki, and it's given that like since he beat Yuki, he's already like a little level above that, and you can see him being stronger than Yuki, you know, because he sent like Anubius flying. And the thing is like Dynamis is Jupiter. It's a really, really strong Bay, and he obviously knew like all of the power behind it, you know. But the thing is like Chronos was a stamina type Bay, and it's given like defense against stamina. It literally comes down to Bay type. Like Dynamis would have put up a great fight, and it would have been a dog fight between the two if we ever saw that. Like Aguma versus Dynamis. But it's a given that like I think Aguma would have won it because obviously the stamina of Chronos, you know, unless he like sent it flying out, you know. And plus it just sucks that like there weren't that many battles that happened with Dynamis and such, so we can't even like really tell like how strong he was as a legendary blader. But we saw more with like Aguma, definitely. So yeah, they all put up like they all battled together actually. It was like, well, Chris and Aguma and Dynamis all launched their bays in to help like revive Nemesis because Dynamis was being possessed at that time. But yeah, anyways, yeah, it just comes down to like Bay type for it. And like I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I didn't like Aguma as a character. I'm not having any character bias with this. It's literally based on their power, you know, because like in the show, I watched this show over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, dude. I've seen every single season of Metal Fight Beyblade dozens upon dozens and dozens of times, you know. Like I've watched the seasons all the time just to like make these episodes, you know. I've been on here for 6 years. Why do you think it took me so long to just make these videos, you know? Like I started my channel in 2012 and now I'm making these videos in 2018 for this. But yeah, fact is like I say like Aguma would have beaten Dynamis in the battle, and he already beat Yuki, so that's why he's getting the number 9 spot. And then the number 10 spot is going to Dynamis, because Dynamis' Jupiter was a really amazing Bay, dude. The defense of that thing was crazy. Anubius, like I know Yuki's a cool character. I thought he was a pretty cool character, but like Mercury and Anubius being an attack type going against Jupiter would have been sent flying. Like with raw power, definitely Dynamis would have won it. You know, honestly, out of the legendary blader, let's say Yuki is probably the weakest. You know, he was a legendary blader and he was strong, but like we saw how much he struggled. He had great control, but like he struggled so much, you know. And he got that power down to the very end and even fought against like Aguma's Chronos for a good amount of time. But it was a given that like Aguma would have beaten, you know, Anubius and such. And like, you know, like Dynamis' Jupiter was just an awesome Bay, dude. It was so strong, and like he would have definitely beaten Yuki in a battle. But yeah, and there was only one legendary blader after that. So 11, well, if I did do 11, like it would be like obviously Yuki with Anubius, and then after that, right below that, for anybody that's wondering, I'd say Pluto. I'd say like yeah, Pluto, because like he had a Bay modeled after King Hades, but like he didn't have the power of the Star Fragment, so all the legendary bladers would have beat him. And then if I was to go to 12, I know people would be interested, like the Bladers who didn't have legendary base. 12 would be Masamune, 13 would be Tsubasa, 14 would be you. Yeah, because Blitz Striker was amazing, and it was just below the power of a legendary Blader. It fought two legendary Bladers and almost won, but it lost, you know. So Masamune would definitely be 12. 13, like I said, Tsubasa, because he put up a like really good fight. And like he helped them face off against like the God of Destruction and such, and all the battles that Tsubasa was in, he put up a really good fight and lost to legendary Bladers, you know. So it took legendary Bladers to really take him down. If they would have fought again, I feel like Masamune would have beaten Tsubasa by a little bit, you know. Not saying Tsubasa's weak. Tsubasa's really strong. This is just like legendary Blader status we're talking about. And then you probably being right below that. I don't know. Maybe it would either be like you or Tsubasa for that last spot, like, you know, those two spots. But yeah. So I guess that's what I'd say for that list. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to end off this video. Hope you guys enjoy the top 10 list. You know, I like doing these top 10 lists. They're amazing. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, ring that bell by my channel name to be notified when I upload a video. So yeah, next one I'm doing, Shogun Steel, so I can tell you guys about that one. But yeah, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you later. Thanks for watching. Till then, stay awesome and oh shoot, I'm up out of here. I need some food. Got Lunchables. Alright, so scratch what I said at the very end, like below the legendary Bladers. Like, obviously, Yuki would still be 11. But then I'd put, like, I'd put Pluto with this Fire Fused Dark Helm, that Fusion Hades Bay. Yeah. And then the other Bladers, you know.